I see that he's looks like three-handed, although he says he's 6 players left, and he doesn't show the stacks to the other 6 players. So just some feedback. If you're in a final table situation, I want to see everything. I want to know everything I can about the players that are left. I even want their screen names because I want to look them up and see how good they are usually too. It can be a big indication about how they're playing. So only having 3 of the stacks is really hard to tell. I don't know if you have the worst stack, the best stack, or what. So UTG is playing at 54-38, but only a small sample, 15 hands. Again, do I believe that? Well, 54% of your hands is a lot, even if it's only 15 hands. I mean, if he was a 18-15 or a 25-20 or something, I wouldn't think of much of it, but to play half your hands is a lot. I assume since he's way ahead in hand chips, he'll be playing pretty laggy, although his numbers make him look like us kind of spazzy in any case. Well, you're correct in all of that. I mean, his numbers are kind of crazy, but yeah, he's going to be playing laggy. He's got like 60 big blinds, so for sure, I mean, he's going to play laggy. Button is playing 25-5 with a 22% call rate. Over 200 hands, so I don't think his hand is particularly strong, although he's 3, but is only 2%, so maybe he likes to trap a lot pre. Miami should be rock solid, at least in the button eyes, I guess. Do you call and see a flop or just shove? Well, to be honest with you, with your stack, I'm probably never calling to see flops with many hands. I don't know why you would call here out of position versus 2 other players. It just doesn't make sense. And the other thing is, if you look at what's in the pot, I mean, you don't have the pots up, but the ante's 400. There's 6 people in the hand. That's 2,400 plus the blinds is another 6K. That's 8,400. Then you have 8K plus 8K, so 8,400 plus 16K is 24,400, and you have 72,000. So the standard is if you're going to increase your stack by 20% or more, and you have a half decent hand that sustains the showdown pretty well, then you should probably be shoving. And 24,000 into 72,000, that's like insane value. So I think you should always be shoving here. There's no point in seeing a flop. You're going to miss too many of them, and there's just too much equity. As far as your image goes, I mean, you said it yourself. It's $10 buy-in. This guy's playing crazy. Who knows if they're even noticing any of that? And the 2%, definitely 3-bet is only being 2%. That's risky. But the thing is, I think you should always shove here, and I think anything else is just overanalyzing it. And because you're picking up so much to your stack, it just makes it worthwhile. So definitely shove for sure. And like I said, just make sure you put more of the information in the hands in here so we can see everything. Okay, I'm going to do another one quickly. I'm at 13 minutes now, as you just saw, but I just want to do another one quickly. So here, open raise sizing. Let's dread 13 again. I didn't mean that way, but I am partial Canadian. So if you're Canadian, shout out to you because you're Canadian. But I'm just joking. I definitely would answer anyone's post. But I saw this one and I read it quickly. I didn't read any of the responses. I don't know what people are saying. But I'm just going to read it quickly. So in the mathematics of poker, they say ultimately your open raise sizing should be based on your position. So if you min raise UTG, then raise 3 BBs on the button. In the middle, you would raise somewhere in between. It occurred to me that this might be valuable with smaller stack sizes, such as most stages of tournaments. Of course, people don't usually get open to 3x in tournaments like ever, so maybe I should start opening 2x. Just started thinking. Raising UTG looks pretty damn strong in tournaments no matter what. It's going to make sense to me. Also, there's this one tourney I was playing where the big blind, the button kept opening for like 4 big blinds. Most people don't raise that much. But as the big blind found, it's sizing very difficult to deal with without a real hand, since I would have to commit a large stack to fight back. So scaling that back a bit, opening the button for 2.75 does put pressure on the blinds, compensating for a wider range. I must give this strategy over a dozen tourneys and see how it works. So this is basically about raise sizing and whether you should, based on the position you're in. And I've seen this done different ways, to be honest. I've tried different things. Raising bigger in earlier position, raising bigger late, and stuff like that. I guess my own personal belief is you should just keep consistent. Your raise size should always be the same, and it should always be around 2.2x. But there are times when I do 3x it, usually early on, and usually on someone's big blind. Sometimes blind versus blind, I don't mind raising bigger and making the pot bigger on purpose, because it gives you more equity to try to bluff them out of hands and stuff like that, because the pot just gets so big so quick.